All right, slope is what we are going over today. And what is slope? From a graph, a table, and 2 points. Okay, so slope is a number that describes a direction, okay, and the steepness of a line. It is also known as the constant rate of change. So if you ever see the word rate of change, it's wanting you to find the slope. Okay, so there are 4 different types of slope. Okay, there is a positive slope. And this slope is always increasing. So as it's going to the right, it is going to be increasing. Okay, it's going up. There's going to be a negative slope. Okay, and this one's always decreasing because as it's going to the right, it's going downhill. All right. Then there is a zero slope. Okay. So this one, it does not go up and down. So if you watch the Slope Dude video, it was zero fun when he was on skis and had to walk forward. Okay. And then this slope is undefined. Okay. Undefined is a vertical line. Your undefined slope will be vertical, whereas your zero slope will be horizontal. So horizontal running, like Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect. All right. So a undefined slope is also it's not a function because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. So that just want to clarify that from last unit. Just bringing back that previous knowledge that we've learned. All right. So how to determine slope from a graph. So how you determine slope from a graph is just by counting, but you must count in a certain way. You must do rise over run. So what that means is you must go up first before you go to the left or to the right, okay? Or in this case, if we have a negative slope, we'll go down first and then to the left or to the right, okay? So your rise is always going to be your change of y's, so the y values, and then your run is going to be the change of x values, so the difference between the two. So how you calculate the slope, find the constant rate of change of each line, is you just pick a point on that graph. You pick 2 points, okay? It doesn't matter where. Maybe sometimes it'll give you the point, sometimes it does not, okay? And then you just count your rise over run. So if I'm looking at this line without counting my rise over run, I notice that it is a positive slope. Okay, so I know it needs to be positive because it's going up towards the right. Okay, it's going up. As I'm going to the right, it's increasing its direction towards the right. All right, so then I'm just counting my rise over run. So I'm going from the blue point, and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. So I go up 3. Okay. And then I go to the left, or to the right, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go to the right 4. Well, because it's positive, my numbers will stay positive, okay? But my slope is I rose 3 and ran 4. So my slope is 3 over 4, okay? And if you wanted to double check, every point goes up 3 to the right 4. From this point, I go up 3 to the right 4. Up 3 to the right 4. Okay, so it's consistent. It's a constant rate of change. So for this one, as I'm looking at it, I notice that my slope is going down. Okay, it's from left to right, it is going downhill. So this is going to be a negative slope. Okay, but now I'm just counting the rise over run. Well, when I'm counting from this point to this point, I notice that I fall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I fell 5. I fall 5 units. Well, fall is where the negative slope comes from. Okay, so when I fall 5 units and then I go to the right 1, my slope is actually just a negative 5. So negative 5 over 1 is just a slope of negative 5. Okay. this slope right here, okay, it's up and down, it's undefined, okay? If I go and I just pick 2 points on this line, okay, I go up or I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, but then I don't go right or left any. So anything divided by 0, guys, is undefined. Therefore, this one over here is a 0 slope, because if I just pick 2 random points here, I don't go up or down any, so my rise is 0. And then I have 1, 2, 3. I run 3. Well, 0 divided by any number will get you 0. Okay. All right. How do you find the slope between 2 points and a table? So how I find a slope from 2 points in a table, sorry, my information's kind of funky. So this one goes over here, 7, 9. Okay, this one. All right, so we have our points, our slope formula right here. Okay, it is the change of y's divided by the change of x. Okay, so in order to calculate this, I am going to make sure to label each ordered pair, each coordinate, okay? Because I want to reduce the amount of mistakes I have. So, x1, y1, x2, y2. How do you know which one is which? It doesn't matter as long as you're consistent. So, 8 and 10 will get my x1, y1 because they're my first set of coordinates. Negative 7 and 14 will get my x2 and y2 because they're my second set of coordinates. And then I just put them in our formula. So m equals slope, by the way. M is the same thing as slope. Okay, and it says y2 should go on top of the fraction. So I'm looking for my y2, which is 14. I'm going to subtract my y1, which is 10, divided by my x2, which is negative 7, subtracting my x1, which is 8. And then I just solve left to right. So 14 minus 10 is 4. And negative 7 minus 8 will get me a negative 15. Okay, so there's our slope. It can't be simplified, so that's our slope. All right, so I'm going to do this one. So again, we're going to label x1, y1, x2, y2, and then just put them in the formula as is. So slope equals x2 comes first, so negative 15 minus my x2. y2 comes first, then y1, which is a negative 20, divided by our x2, which is negative 18, minus our x1, which is a negative 18. So negative 15 minus negative 20 will get us a positive 5. And then negative 18 minus a negative 18 will get us a 0. So 5 divided by 0, anything divided by 0 will actually get us an undefined slope. All right. I want you to do this one on your own, and the answers will be in the copy of notes. All right. So to continue on with the notes, my notes look a little funky, but we have a table here. And how you find the slope between a table is just like you would an ordered pair, because a table is just filled with ordered pairs from a graph, okay? So in order to find the slope of ordered pair of a table, you just choose 2 points. You can choose any 2 points on the table, just choose 2 points and then apply the slope formula. So I'm going to choose these 2. Okay, and then I'm going to do my labeling. So this one is x1, y1. This is my x2, y2. And then I am just using the slope formula to plug in our values. So our formula is y2 minus y1. So it's 1 minus 4 all over our x2 minus x1. So it's 5 minus 0. Okay. I've had kids ask me, can I just subtract straight down? Yes, you can. Guys, the reason why they just say y2 minus y1 is just because it needs a change of your y's on top of the fraction and the change of y's on the bottom of your fraction, okay? The reason why they make you put y2, y1 is because they need you to be consistent on what is subtracting from what, okay? So notice how I always have my pink highlighted numbers first, and then my blue gets put in last, okay? It just needs to be consistent on what is subtracting from what. Am I subtracting the first ordered pair from the second one, or am I subtracting the second one from the first one, okay? So you can subtract straight down. I'll show you that you'll get the same slope, okay? The math is just slightly different. So 1 minus 4, we're coming back over here to this slope formula. 1 minus 4 is 3, and 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 4 is a negative 3, okay? And then here is our slope of this line. If I wanted to come over here and subtract straight down, if I wanted to come over here, so 4 minus 1 will get us a 3, and then 0 minus 5 would get us a negative 5. And what the key is now is you actually have to put these in the right way on the fraction. So remember, it's the change of y over the change of x. So you just make sure that you put your subtraction of y's on top, and then your subtraction of x's on bottom, and therefore you do get the same slope. All right, like this one over here, okay? We choose 2 points, label x1, y1, x2, y2, and put it in our formula. So it's y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So 6 minus 0 is 6. 3 minus 0 is 3. This can simplify down to 2 over 1, which is the same slope as 2. Okay. All right, last but not least, we're going to go over this last question. The slope of a line passes through the points negative 2 comma y. Not sure why it looks like that. And negative 5, 7, and is negative 23. What is the value of y? So it's saying that, hey, slope is negative 23. What is our missing ordered pair? So what you do is just plug everything you do know into the formula. So I know that this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. And then this is my slope. This is m. Okay? So we just plug in what we know. Well, we know slope. So slope gets put on the equation by itself. So negative 23 equals, and then we just plug in what we know. So we know that y2 is 7 minus y1, which is y, all over x2, which is negative 5, minus x1, which is negative 2, and then you solve for y. So here's how we solve for y. Okay, anytime we have a big fraction like this, like there is a whole fraction, we got to get rid of everything on the bottom. Okay, so how you do that is multiplying everything that's on that bottom. But let's simplify it first. Okay, so when we simplify this, we're looking at negative 23 equals 7 minus y all over, well, negative 5 minus a negative 2 will get us a negative 3. Okay, so what I'm going to be multiplying is this negative 3 off of this bottom of the fraction. So these cancel, but what I do on one side, I have to do to the other. So negative 23 times negative 3 is 69. So 69 equals 7 minus y. Okay, so then we're subtracting 7. This is railroads right here. Subtract 7. So we get 62 equals a negative y. Well, we can't have a negative y. We want to just regular y. So we divide off that imaginary -1. Cancels that negative. And I'm left with y equals a positive or a negative 62. So our ordered pair is -2, -62. It's a really far away coordinate. All right. So remember, when we're finding slope, that we're just going to use our slope formula, especially if it's between 2 points. If it's on the graph, we're going to count our rise over run. All right. Bye, guys.